there are a lot of you that might think you understand what it is like to live with Asperger's Syndrome, but you really don't. Take it from me. Just reading up on it, what it is, and asking a doctor for answers about it will never give you the full picture. You have to be someone with Asperger's Syndrome, such as myself, to really understand. Why? Because every person with Asperger's Syndrome is different. And, I mean, there are some similarities between people with Asperger's Syndrome, such as being obsessed with certain topics. In my case, I'm obsessed with movies and video games. And I'm also a huge Batman nut. And then there's also the case of not being able to handle social interactions very well. I mean, there are those that can handle social interactions pretty decently, but people like me, on me on the spectrum, I can't read facial expressions, and I just can't understand what people are saying at times. I more so than an average person, because there are times when people don't understand what people say, and for me, I also say some things some people might see it a different way, and I actually mean something completely different. And so the difference is that with people with Asperger's syndrome is that every person with Asperger's might be better at socializing, like I said just not too long ago, and they have a different way of doing things, such as routines. I have a routine where I get up at a certain time on certain days to go to class. I have to do things an exact way. I'm ODD in a way, and there are those with Asperger's syndrome that might even grow out of it. I don't say this happens very often, and I don't really know many people that have Asperger's that show signs of growing out of it. I mean, I know some people with Asperger's, and I'm friends with them, and I have Asperger's, so it goes hand in hand. But some of these people, the people with Asperger's syndrome I know, are better at socializing, and they are not shy, and they have a lot more friends than I do. Not to say, I mean, I'm shy, so, and it's hard for me to break out of my shell. Once I get to know somebody, then I'm a completely different person. But my point is, just because you think you know somebody with Asperger's and whatnot, you will never truly what goes on in the mind with somebody with Asperger's. It's what makes people with Asperger's unique and complicated. I mean, you might be friends with one, but you really never will understand what's going on in their mind. They might say something. For example, I might say to my friend how I'm feeling, but they might think, is that his Asperger's, or is that, And there are a lot of people with Asperger's who just want to be seen as normal people. They don't want to be put in special ed or whatever. And there are school districts, in high school, in grade school. I'm in college now. There are people in high school and whatnot that will put you in special ed classes, or try to. And I myself know this from experience, because I was bullied in high school, middle school, and elementary school, and they ended up putting me in an autism support class, which I really didn't need. I just needed to be out and socialize with people, instead of being in a class filled with 5-7 people who are on the high end of autism, like they have speech problems and whatnot. And this, I do find it insulting, and this is why I'm posting this. So, just don't. You will never really understand what it is like to live with Asperger's syndrome. So.